Final Destination 3 was originally supposed to be 3D, but they decided not to do it in the end. Luckily, when the next film was to come out, 3D had a huge revival and became bigger than ever, so they decided that now was the time to finally do a 3D movie. At the same time, they decided that this fourth movie would be a good place to end the franchise, so along came the Final Destination, promised to be the best and final film in the series. The first three movies weren't great, but they were at least decent movies. The Final Destination is absolutely awful. It's the laziest and most pointless movie in the franchise. The plot is pretty much the exact same as before, except this time it's so stupid and ridiculous, but not in a good way where it's enjoyable, just in a really badly made way. There is a crash at a speedway race. This crash is so huge it makes the entire venue collapse, killing everyone inside. This wouldn't happen. They would make sure the venue is incredibly safe so things like this wouldn't happen. There's a premonition, some people survive, and then they slowly get picked off one by one. The previous movie actually brought in a new unique mechanic to the series by adding in the being able to know each other's death through pictures element. This movie attempts to do that again, but change it a little bit. The main character Nick has nightmares and sometimes visions, and in each one he sees roughly how the next person is going to die. But these visions are so stupid that you'd never be able to guess what's going to happen next through them. Because this film is in 3D, they feel the need to constantly remind you so everything that could possibly come towards the screen does. The director David R. Ellis, who also directed the second movie, said that he wants to add some depth to the movie instead of just throwing stuff at the screen every 4 minutes. Well, you completely fucking failed because you've done exactly what you didn't want to do. Pretty much everything that comes to the screen was created using CGI, and Jesus Christ, the CGI effects in this film are atrocious. Every single one looks incredibly fake, whether it's the blood and gore that they were too lazy to do practically, or things like a snake. They look so terrible that it instantly takes you out the film every time you see it. The death scenes in this film are less funny and ridiculous like in the previous movie, and more terrible and implausible. The previous movie seemed like it was trying to have fun with itself and at times was almost like a self-parody. This film at times feels like it's trying to be dead serious but still doing the stupid stuff from the previous movie. There are some scenes that are laughably ridiculous that I don't think are supposed to be that way. For me, the worst death in the film is in a swimming pool. A character accidentally turns on the drain switch by the pool. The cover over the hole in the pool breaks. The character drops a penny into the water and he goes in to get it. It's a penny, you're not losing much money at all. You can literally buy nothing with that. When he's trying to get the penny, he somehow manages to get his arse stuck on the hole and his insides are sucked out. Now the draining of the pool was happening for a few minutes and somehow no water left the pool at all. It's at the exact same level as it was before. That wouldn't work. The water would be leaving, especially if it's powerful enough to pull out someone's insides too. What makes this scene worse is that it's supposed to be incredibly gory and disgusting, but you barely see anything. It just makes it look like they copped out. The script of the film is terrible. It moves incredibly slowly and it's painfully obvious that they had no idea what to write next because they do every cliche and lazy writing you can do. Have no idea what to do next? Well, why not give a false ending half an hour before the end of the film because it's not obvious that it isn't the end yet? An hour in, they decide because one of the characters is trying to kill himself and can't do it, that they've cheated death. So what, if they manage to survive almost being killed again, they become immortal? How does that make sense? Then we find out that actually there is another survivor who they didn't know about it. So why did he survive killing himself multiple times? How does that make any fucking sense? Then there is another premonition scene because they have time they need to kill. This film, instead of doing something new with the series and taking it in a different direction, decided that instead just to rehash everything that has been done before. They take ideas that were in 2 and 3 and only those movies and bring them back and fuck them up too. Instead of being a film for the fans, this is an insult to the fans. This was supposed to be the final film in the franchise, but literally if it wasn't called The Final Destination, you'd think it was just another normal installment. It doesn't end anything. It's just like the other movies except 1,000 times worse. This film does everything it could possibly do wrong. Nothing works in this movie. It's badly written, badly acted, the effects are terrible, and it's just a lazy and unenjoyable film. I give The Final Destination a 3.